Alright, so now to begin our project, there are a few various ways for you to do it. As I said, you can make motifs and you put a motif here, put a motif here, put a motif here and here, and then you mesh stitch it together. That's the one way. The way that I'm basically doing it is just freeform crocheting everywhere you want to. I did a few motifs, but generally I just started somewhere and I went from there. I just freeformed. I'm going to show you how to do that. Then I'll show you one or two where I take a motif and I put it down and how I mesh stitch it together. But let me show you how. The bottom line is you just go to start. So you just start somewhere. I'm just going to take my cotton and I'm just going to start by crocheting 3, 4 or 5 stitches, it doesn't really matter, and then slip stitch them together. Then I'm going to do chain 3. As I say, I'm just free forming this, actually chain 4. I'm just doing this as it comes to me. Oops. So it's chain 4 and then double crochet in this ring, and I'm just doing this as it comes to me, and then a chain 1, another double crochet in the middle, chain 1, and I'm just doing chain 1 double crochets in the middle. That's all I'm doing here. And as I say, the aim is for your work to be sitting flat. You don't want it bunching up or being too much or too little. So I need to get one more in here and I think I'll be good. Chain 1, and then I'm going to just slip stitch into this actual chain space. Okay, and now my work is lying flat. If I pull this in the back, it's laying flat, and that's what you want throughout your work. So now it's a matter of, okay, what shall I do next? So let me do chain 3, and I'm going to go over this with the chain 3. So I'm just going to go in there, and you do your own thing. I'm just really doing this so you can see what I'm doing. And then I'll do another 1, 2, 3. In fact, this needs to be 4. I'm going to do 4 here. 4, and then we're going to do a double crochet in there. And then 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I prefer mine to rather be looser than too snug. So that's why I'm doing 4 instead of 3, because the 3 might pull it together a little bit too much. And see, I'm just free forming now. I mean, I don't know what I'm doing. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just going around. You don't have to go in the round. You can go anywhere. I mean, now I could turn around and go a different way. It's really up to you, but I want to just show you this motif because I want to start you off. 2, 3, 4, and single double crochet in there, and let's do one more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and I'm going to just join this together here. I'm just going to go in my space and slip stitch. Okay, now mine is pretty loose, which is good. Now I'm just going to do some double crochets in there. I have no set agenda, I'm just free forming. That stands for 1, 2, 3. I think I'll just go with 3 in each. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and that should be good. So I'm just going to go around with 3 in each of these. Alright, so what you'll notice while you were doing it is that I started off doing 3 in each of these, but it started pulling too tightly. So I had to do 4. I came and did 4 in the others, and then I had to do 5 to stop it, to keep it lying flat. So now you can see I don't have a perfectly round circle, which is awesome because this is freestyle, and freeform we don't necessarily want something to look perfect. So, but if you did it without me, you would have figured that out. That's why I say you learn from doing this, because you realize, gosh, if I wanted them all to be equal, I'd probably have to have done 4 in each one, and then it would have been fine. but those are the things that you learn. Anyway, I'm going to just slip stitch into this stitch over here. Now I'm just going to freeform a little bit and go out of my circle here. So I'm going to do a bunch of chains, and then I'm going to come down them. I'm going to skip 3 and do a double crochet in the 4th one, and just come down here, and I'm just going with what I feel like. Okay, so I just did a double crochet in each, and then I'm going to slip stitch over here just where it kind of fits in nicely. I'll slip stitch in there, then I'm going to make another one, but I'm going to go longer. Let's have fun with this. I'm going to make this one much longer than the other one. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to skip the top 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to go into the 4th one, and I'm going to double crochet all the way down. So I came down the bottom of this one, and you can see they different lengths, and once again I'm going to just, wherever this slots in nicely, I'm going to slip stitch or single crochet in there. And what else shall I go? I'm going to make one more that's kind of in between these two sizes. So do the same thing if you're following me. If you're doing this, this is just where I'm starting mine off. So I'm going to do another one, but make it longer than this one, but shorter than that. Right, so I did the other one, and I slip stitched over there. Now, once again, this is going to be anywhere on your garment. I just start mine like this, and I just work on it until it gets fairly large, and then I place it on my garment. I don't do that for quite a while until it's pretty big. You got so many different scenarios. I mean, you can come back on here, start something else over there. You can come all the way around, work on this, or we can work on this now. I mean, honestly, you can go in whichever direction you feel like going. I'm going to work on this now. This to me looks like a bit of a petal of a flower, so I can run with that. And you know when with a petal or a leaf or whatever, it kind of comes out in the middle and then it comes in. So I'm going to work with it. I'm going to do single crochets, a half, a double. This is your different size. A single crochet is the small one, and then half is bigger, double is bigger, and then trebles are bigger. And then here it comes in again. So this is where you want it to be fuller with your longer stitch. So I'm going to play around and do it. If it doesn't come out right, great. If it does, we'll work with it. So I can either go all the way around, which I think I'm going to do, and then I'll come up here and work around. So I'm just going to go around mine with some just really mesh. I'm going to do chain 3, 1, 2, 3. And just remember your principle of keeping it flat. If it doesn't look flat, just pull it out and use a different stitch. I'm going to go in each one of these. I think I'll be good. Might be a bit too much, but I'm going to play with mine, and I'm going to come around just doing the mesh stitch. So you practice that by yourself. You can skip a stitch and come in here or go around however, and I'll meet you back here. Alright, so I went all the way around, and this is really just so that you can get the idea of starting. I don't necessarily want to stifle your imagination. This is just my imagination that I'm using here. But I just thought I'd show you so you can actually get started with your work. Now I'm going to just, like I said, I'm going to do some single crochets at the bottom. Now I don't have too much to work with here. So I'm going to have to do a half a double. And as I say, these are your stitches that are going higher in height. That's a smaller one, half a double, then a double crochet. And then I'll do one treble, where you wrap twice around, go into this stitch. And if you don't want to use these, you're not familiar with this, don't. Go ahead and do your own thing. Okay, and then I'm going to do another double, and I'll do a half, and I've just made it in here. Okay, and then I'm going to do some single crochets in the top. Now, you'll have to, when you're coming around, you usually have to do a lot more stitches when you're turning around something. Okay, and now I'm just going to do the same thing. Let's do a half, and a double, a treble, and then another half. Okay, now that I'm just looking here, I don't want to go all the way down because I want to actually join this on here. Otherwise we're going to have a problem. They're going to collide. So let me do a double here, and then I'm just going to go across to this stitch, more or less where it is. Made the same place, so I suppose kind of here. I don't want too big a gap there. And I'll just single crochet in there. And then I'll do the same thing with this one. Just do the progression of stitches. And same thing here. I'm just going to go up, come there, and then I'm going to join it on here, and I'm going to come up. And then I'm going to start free forming across this side. So when I've done this part, I'm going to come here and I'll show you as to the direction that I'm going to go, and then I'm going to let you go off on your own, because then I think I've got you started with a good basic. And you don't have to start like this. You can start anywhere. You can start with a square. You can start with a straight motif. But anyway, go ahead and do that, and then I'll show you how we freeform out, and then you can do it. Alright, so I've come back down here, and I'm just going to do a single crochet in there. Now I'm going to just go off somewhere else. I'm going to 1, 2, 3 do one mesh there, and then I'm just going to launch on out. I'm going to do a bunch of chains. Usually for me I'd launch out like that, whichever works for you, just to get something different going here. And then I'm going to just do single crochets again to come down, and I'll show you. I'm not making a leaf. Do single crochets down, and I'll show you how to launch off from there.